secrets, not lies. If you don't know, it's only subterfuge disguises. If you don't know, can't get hurt by the things that you don't know. You don't know. I spot your punch, shook your knees, and stole your heart away. I spun my webs and dropped my lies. You watch me fly.
Greetings and motherfucking salutations. This is Techrodot here, back with more Hi-Fi Rush. And yeah, I have a couple things to get out of the way real quick. First of all, after the last couple videos of commentary, I actually started recording some CTR Nitro Fuel Let's Play stuff. Now, it's not guaranteed to come this volume run against. I'm probably gonna put it off till next volume, but I'm just getting it out of the way that it is coming. Because I already said I don't want to do 2 games of the same series back to back, same franchise, whatever, back to back. So, and the next one is Crash 2, so it's probably not coming this season. I'm probably gonna do it in Crash Bandicoot Warped next season, next volume run, I guess, whatever. But I just thought I'd get that out of the way. It is gonna be the 3rd Crash game I do a Let's Play of after 4 and 2. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Why is it going to be the 3rd Crash game I'm getting out of the way? Because between it and Warped, I have an easier time doing a completionist run of it. And I hate using the word completionist now because, like, that YouTuber is, yeah, if you know, you know. I'm just going to say a 100% run because I can't even say that word without, like, thinking about that bullshit. Yeah, anyway, just trying to get my mind off that. But anyway, what I was talking about is that I think I've said it before that when I get around to Crash 2, 3, and CTR, I want to do a 100%, or in the case of Crash 3, a 105%, I think it is, run of those games. And Crash 2 and CTR Nitro Fuel are both games I had already done a 100% completion run of before even starting Let's Play videos for them. I've never done a complete run of Crash Bandicoot 4. I've done a run just like beating levels and the bosses, but I've never gotten all the relics, all the gems, all that stuff. That is going to be something I'm going to strive for in the near future when I get to that game. But because I have to strive for that, I want to do CTR first because I know I'll have an easier time getting everything done in CTR, because in CTR you don't need all the relics. If memory serves me correct, you don't need all the relics. All you need is like a few relics to unlock a specific track. I think it's like 5 relics if I remember correctly. 5 or 8 or something like that. It's not all the racetracks though. You don't have to get all the relics to beat the game. And that's why I'm doing it before Warped, because I'm not a big fan of the relics in Crash games, but I do have a little more fun getting them in CTR than I do in Warped, if I'm being honest. Another game I want to Let's Play someday, if I could ever find like a means of playing the game again, is Crash Twinsanity. That is probably the only Crash game I don't currently own that I would want to Let's Play one day. That and Crash the Titans, but I already have plans with Crash the Titans. Spoiler alert, I actually do. We might be getting 2 Crash games this season, run-on games, because we already got Crash 2 set in stone. Like, all the footage is recorded and everything. I just gotta add commentary and edit the videos. But I can't do that until all these videos are edited and uploaded and all that stuff. I've kind of slowed down with working on uploads, and I'm probably gonna speed back up because I kind of miss being able to take a week or 2 long. Like, I miss being able to take a week or 2 off doing commentary between needing to do them, because it, in my opinion, is better to do like 2 or 3 weeks worth and then take 1 or 2 weeks worth of breaks and then do it again. Like, it works out a little better that way because I can do the commentary at a time when I have the energy. and not have to do it every week, because I don't have the energy for commentary every week, and that's why like my commentary has kind of been lacking lately, is because I've kind of slowed down. And sometimes when I'm doing this commentary, it's on days where I don't have the energy, and I kind of just force myself to do it. So I do plan on fixing that a little bit. Not at the time of doing this recording, because I don't have enough time to do like another. I don't even think I got enough time to do commentary on one more video tonight. So this is probably the last I'm going to do at the moment. But after this, next time, I'm going to try to make enough time to do like 2 weeks worth of commentary instead of one. So I don't have to do commentary every week, because I have a little more fun with it when I can do like commentary for videos 1 week, take a break for a week or two, and then come back. Because then I'm not doing it as much, and I have more to say when I come back, if that makes sense. Because me doing this weekly, there's less stuff to talk about, because there's not as many new topics on my mind. So sometimes I can start sounding repetitive when I do it this way, and I don't. That's something I'm worried about, because I know I brought up topics several times before, but it gets worse when like I'm doing these every week, because not a lot happens in a week for me. Like, it needs to be like 2 or 3 weeks so that like I have more to talk about. Not even like, I don't know. Like, I think the only topic that I haven't really touched on that's been on my mind lately is the Kendrick and Drake beef, and the fact that Kendrick won that. I don't care what anybody says, Kendrick won that. That's not even my bias talking. Like, even if I was looking at this with no bias, there's no way that Drake won at all. Like, he lost. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of I need to specify this, because this was actually a little different, because the person I say won that was the person who released the last track about it. Though this one is speaking on bias, but the Kendrick and Drake one, even if I look at it without bias, I still think Kendrick won. But when I look at this other one, it is basically biased. It's biased against one of the artists, because a couple years ago, I think it was like 2020, 2019, something, there was this, there were diss tracks coming out between Mac Lethal and Tom MacDonald. And I have a bias against Tom MacDonald. I really do. I can't stand him. Why can't I stand him? Because he's one of those people that basically purposely talk about offensive things just to get a rise out of people so that his music gets noticed. That's why I don't like him. I mean, in all fairness, even if he actually did believe the stuff he talks about, I strongly disagree with a lot of stuff he says. So even if he wasn't the kind of like shitty person that basically abuses offensive topics just to make people mad so he gets attention, even if he wasn't that kind of asshole, I still wouldn't really enjoy him, because he, like, the stuff he talks about is very right-wing extremist stuff. And if you don't know me, I don't like to get political on this channel, but I do occasionally. If you know me, I'm neutral. I'm in the middle. I refuse to pick a side between the left and right at all, because I can't stand both of them. I really can't stand both of them for different reasons. But I do lean more left, only slightly, because I agree with a couple things on both sides, but I hate most of how both sides act, what both sides believe, all that kind of stuff gets on my nerves. But I do have a stronger disdain for the right as of late, because before it was kind of almost evened out. But as of late, in the past couple of years, due to like stuff like Tom MacDonald, If you heard of this crappy show that came out, Mr. Bertram, stuff like that. The right leaves a more sour taste in my mouth than the left now. And I hate to say that because I like hating them both equally, because it makes me feel like that I'm not being biased, because I don't like being biased. I don't like being biased at all. And I hate both, so when I say like more negative things about one side, it's going to sound like I side with the other, but that's not it at all. It's really not, because I've already stated that I can't agree with most of the stuff both sides say and do. Like, there are many things that the left and right, and I'm talking about American politics, obviously, and I'm not going to like list these things because I don't want to start like a political debate out of one of my videos or anything like that. Like, the only political view I've been really vocal about in the past is that I think everybody should be treated equally. I don't care what your sexuality, your race, your religion, your gender is, your gender identity is, your sexuality. I don't care about none of that. You should still be treated like a human being so long as you aren't a horrible person. If you're a horrible person, it's different. But if you're not a horrible person, then you should still be treated the same as like other people are treated, right? So like, that's the only political opinion I've been really strong about. But at the same time, I realize that both sides are the cause for how much hate people have for specific groups. One side basically tries to promote that stuff and cause a divide, and the other side basically actually believes that stuff. And that's really my main gripe with the two main parties. They both try to like divide everybody, and that's not how we should be. We should be united. We're all human beings. We all have a heart. We all have a mind. We all breathe air. We all bleed blood. We all bleed red. Like, it's not... I don't know. I'll never understand that stuff. I really won't. Because to me, it just feels like a waste of your energy. To hate a whole group of people just feels like a waste of energy. If you just sit there... Okay, there are exceptions, obviously. Like, if somebody is a... I'm not going to say the word because I don't even want to... I don't even want to have this word in my video. But if somebody is a PEDO, obviously you have a right to hate them. That makes more sense. Because they actually are terrible. They do terrible things or feel terrible things. All that stuff. But somebody can't control their race. They can't control the sexuality they're reporting with. They can't control their gender identity. They can't control their religion. Well, religion, yeah, they mostly can't control that. They can't control what they believe in that point. So, for you to just waste your energy on hating a whole group of people who didn't choose to be part of that group of people for the most part, you're wasting your energy and you're wasting your time, because we would be a lot more advanced if the human race was just more unified. And we don't gotta agree on stuff. We can argue, we can have debates, we can be on opposite sides of opinions and all that. That's all fine. Where I draw the line is hate, because to me, hate is like the main thing holding humanity back. And obviously, like, I'm not saying you can't hate anything. Like, obviously, I said before that it's valid to hate a certain thing I just mentioned. But I'm saying that you shouldn't waste hate on things that don't deserve it. Like, for example, say you hate Christians or Muslims or No, I'm just gonna use those two examples because I feel like those are the only two I can say without offending somebody in some way. Because I don't want to use other examples. And unlike Tom McDonald, I actually care about how other people feel, and I care about being a decent person. Checkmate. Anyway, go listen to my music, not his. That's all I gotta say there, because his music is shit. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Actually, I don't know what I was saying anymore. I got back to like talking shit about Tom McDonald because he fucking sucks. Like, I don't know, man. At first, I did like him because he had a couple songs, but I actually agreed with. He had one song that was basically talking about everybody should stop getting so mad about opinions. I agreed with that one. And then he had like one or two other songs I agreed with, and those were the first three I heard. And then after that, I heard some of his songs about race. I heard some of his songs about some really right-leaning opinions. And I'm not against all opinions on the right. I've already said I agree with a couple things on both sides. Like, the one thing I kind of agree on the right with is the thing I just mentioned, that people need to stop getting so upset over opinions. That's something, I don't know if that's still something that's a right-leaning, like, view, but it was a few years ago. But on the flip side, I agree with some things on the left, too, like, I want people to be treated more equally, which is a view of most leftists. Last I checked, I don't know, I haven't paid attention to politics in a minute. I just want, like, a nice middle ground between the two sides. I want, like, us to be in a place between both sides, to take the good and leave out the bad. That's what I think should happen. But that's not gonna happen as long as people get manipulated and with propaganda. And propaganda is never gonna go away as long as politicians are around and the media is around. And the politicians and media are never gonna go away because a lot of people support them. So basically, like, we're kind of destroying ourselves here. Is at the end of the day, because people support the politicians and media, then the politicians and media create propaganda to manipulate people into being divided, into hating each other, into believing things that aren't true, or basically just trying to make them fall in line in, like, with one group or the other. And that, to me, that is my gripes with American politics. I hate all politicians, but the ones I hate the most are the ones of the two main parties. For good reason. Because while all politicians are kind of shitty, they all, like, say and do shitty things, they all, like, manipulate, use propaganda, rely on the media in some cases for extra propaganda, they all lie, cheat, all that kind of stuff. Politicians can't be trusted. But the worst ones are the ones in the two main party. Why? Because they're given the power to be as shitty as they are. And that's all I really gotta say about that. Just the opinion from somebody who's pretty much anti-political. And that's mostly where I fall under, is anti-political. Because I hate almost anything politics related. And anytime I talk about politics, it's probably gonna be really negative because of that. And that's why I don't like to talk about politics on this channel a lot, because I have nothing good to say. Yeah, there's nothing good to say. I hate politicians, I hate politics, I hate the media, I hate propaganda. I hate people being divided and hating entire groups of people who can't control what they are. Which is so fucking dumb. I hate the economy being destroyed by the same politicians. This kid's dead. Like, they're slowly destroying this country, and I strongly believe, even though I believe all politicians are evil, I strongly believe that unless another party swoops in and takes a win, we're doomed. We're basically doomed because both sides are fighting so hard against each other, they're basically harming us more than they are each other. And that's like, it's not the way things should be, man. I don't know. I shouldn't be talking about this shit while playing a game like Hi-Fi Rush, because Hi-Fi Rush is amazing. It deserves to have more positive topics over it. Yada yada yada. So I'm really sorry about being so fucking negative. But that's what happens when politics get on my mind. Like, I have nothing good to say. I really don't. The only somewhat good thing I have to say is that they haven't killed us yet. They haven't led this country to its destruction yet. But that's not saying much because we are on the path to that already. So really all it is that they aren't dumber than they already are. This is basically the only good thing I can say about politics and politicians. Anyway. On the topic of the game, this is a really long video. And I did not realize that when I started doing the commentary. Like, good grief. I need to cut this video down a little bit if I have a chance to. I don't think I can though, because I'm pretty sure, like, we had this, I'm pretty sure this is the Corsica boss level,
Mirroring works, like only for a minute.
which means I can't cut anything out, because this level is basically all substance. There's not really much to, that's an issue with, like, okay, it's not really much of an issue with the game itself, because it's actually a good thing. The more substance in the game, the better. But one issue with, like, doing Let's Plays of games like Hi-Fi Rush is there's not much filler to cut out, so the videos end up being super long sometimes. I had the same issue with RE4 Remake, but there, it was actually a little easier because I was a little smarter about how long I recorded, and the game was divided up into even shorter chapters, so it was like, yeah. I don't think any chapter in RE4 Remake went over 42 minutes in my Let's Play. Same with the Separate Ways DLC. But here, we have a few levels to go over that. That's why some of them get cut up. But this one, I just felt like doing the whole thing in one video.
That's not bad.
Oh yes, Corsica's lasers. Oh yeah, Chai, you had to speak so soon, man. These aren't so bad though. They look threatening, but they're not so bad. We can get through this. Something I like about Hi-Fi Rush, it's not one of those games that overwhelm you with difficulty, but when the difficulty comes, it's definitely like challenging. It's not like Crash 4 where the difficulty. Okay, well, to be fair, most of the bad difficulty in Crash 4 comes from trying to get everything in the game. If you're just doing, like, running through the regular story, the difficulty is basically on par with, like, doing hard mode, runs of Hi-Fi Rush tracks. Because I have started doing, hard mode versions of these tracks. So it's like, yeah. I know what I'm talking about. Crash 4 is about on par with the hard mode version of Hi-Fi Rush tracks. But when you go for 100% completion, Crash 4 is on par with Dark Souls. And I hate to compare it to that, but I don't know any other game that hard. I hate to complain. I hate to compare it to that because I'm the same person who has said before, who not only has said, but has also agreed with the YouTubers who said the same thing. But when people were saying that whole, the Dark Souls of platformer shit with the Insane trilogy, I was one of the people that was basically like, you are dumb as bricks. These games are not that hard. Go and play the original Crash 1 and then tell me these are the fucking Dark Souls of platformers. That's another thing too. I'd rather play Crash 4 its difficulty, then play the original Crash 1. Because at least with Crash 4, it's intentionally designed to be difficult. With Crash 1, the difficulty comes from like things that shouldn't even have been a thing in the game. Like the game, like the boxes reset when you die, so you have to do a no-death run of levels to get a gem. Like that shouldn't even have been a thing in the first place, but they had it there. Like basically, I can't play Crash 1 if it's not the Insane Trilogy. Crash 2 and 3 are just fine, but I can't play Crash 1 unless it's the Insane Trilogy. The other thing is, I could never beat the original Crash 1. I can beat Crash 4. I can't 100% it, but I can beat it. Oh no. I just realized I don't have a drink, and it was probably really stupid of me to start this commentary without a drink. And I gotta be here for 25 more minutes. The pain, man, the pain of my stupid decisions. Why did I decide this? Why? But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I plan on doing a Crash of the Titans Let's Play if things go right. Obviously, Crash of the Titans is not on PlayStation 4 or 5, so I have to do it through another way. And I just have to test if it records right this way, so that's basically my only issue. But oh well. We are nearing a transition, so apparently I did cut shit out. Wait, that's scary. This video is 50 minutes long after cutting shit out. How long was this video? I don't even remember, because it's been like several weeks, maybe even a month or two since I did this. That's actually something I want to point out. At the time of doing this commentary, these videos were all edited up over a month or two ago. I did the recording for this Let's Play the few days after the PS5 port of this game came out. A few days after, like the 2 or 3 days after, and the day of the release. The day of release and the 2 or 3 days after was re-recording the gameplay. And the next week or two, I spent time editing together these videos. So yeah, these videos need to go up pronto, because they have been ready to have commentary put over them for nearly 2 months. And that is part of why I've been struggling to stay on topic with them, if I'm being quite honest. But yeah, what else do I gotta say? I'm a fan of Ruby. I think I mentioned it before. I'm basically searching for topics that I haven't touched on for some reason that I need to touch on. I'm a fan of Ruby. I mentioned it before. I'm a huge fan of it, actually. It's probably like my most hyper-fixated animated series ever. And trust me, I have a few of those. Like, I hyper-fixate on Batman the Animated Series a lot. I do it with Spider-Man. No, I do it with the Spectacular Spider-Man as well, and with the Owl House, and with just a few different animated shows. I'm a big fan of animation, so not even just like cartoons like I was just mentioning. I also like anime, and I know Ruby falls more into anime than cartoon, but yeah. I also don't like using the word cartoon for shows like Ruby, even though that's what it is, because it doesn't like follow the traditional thing you think of. When you think of a cartoon, you think of something that's either kid-friendly or family-friendly.
Oh dear.
Like the Owl House, that's family-friendly, I consider. And I've said it before, what I call family-friendly is stuff that's like, a child could watch it and be fine, but there's stuff that older people can enjoy there too. Like, that's what I consider the Owl House. I consider Batman the Animated Series family-friendly for that too, because it's got some dark topics that older people can appreciate while still not being too dark for kids to watch. That's mostly the kind of animation I like. I like the stuff that there's stuff for people of all ages to enjoy there, because it means that I can always come back and enjoy it at any time in my life. And that's how those shows become some of my favorites. For example, I watched The Owl House when it came out, kept up with every episode, but I was already like 19 or 20 when it premiered. Let that sink in. When The Owl House premiered, I think it was 2020, 2019, something, I don't know. I need to look that up because I forgot when it premiered. I also know it's been a long ass while since that show ended, and I'm still a little hyper fixated on it. But the reason I wanted to bring up Ruby is because apparently RT shut down. Because WB shenanigans, guy being an idiot trying to get extra money for his paycheck or whatever. Yeah, I have a gripe with that. That is the thing. I grew up being a fan of WB basically because I grew up with a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff. I grew up with a lot of Hanna-Barbera shows, which I believe eventually fell under the ownership of WB. So obviously, I don't have much reason to hate them before like the last few years. But they're the whole last reason my favorite show that was currently going on might never come back. Yeah. So I obviously have a gripe with them now. Yeah, I was right. The Owl House started in 2020, so I was 20 years old when the show premiered. And I was 23 when it ended. That show deserved a longer lifespan. I'm just saying, like, it really did. It deserved a full season. It deserved at least a full season 3, at least a full one, even if it was just 13 episodes. I think I would have been fine with that. It deserved at least that much. But you know, I'm happy we at least got a conclusion for the show. There was a little rushing in the final season, you could tell, but I still think it came out really good, despite that. The Owl House is definitely one of my favorite shows of all time now. It's up there with Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ruby, Samurai Jack. That's a show I used to not appreciate that much when I was younger, but I still watched it whenever it came on for some reason. But then as I got older, I appreciated it more. Like, I ended up like understanding the show a lot more. Because when it came, you gotta keep in mind, when it came out, I was like maybe 2-3 years old when I first saw it. And a 2 or 3 year old's not going to keep up with a show as quiet and mature as a lot of Samurai Jack can be. But when you get older, it becomes like a really nice experience to watch. Like, it's probably my favorite show from my childhood nowadays. But the funny part about that is that it took me years to appreciate it, because younger me didn't like the way it was. Younger me liked Teen Titans. I still like Teen Titans to this day. That's another good one. As I'm talking about these, I'm not even joking. The song, the Cartoons and Cereal by Kendrick Lamar. Fucking hell, put that shit on Spotify already. It's been a decade. Maybe even longer. I don't know when that song came out, but it's been at least a decade. Put that shit on Spotify. That is probably one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs of all time, and I can only listen to it via YouTube. And I hate that. The reason I hate that is because on my phone, when I'm watching YouTube, I can't go on other apps. On my PlayStation, when I'm watching YouTube, I can't play games. If it was on Spotify, I could go on other apps and hear it. I could play games and hear it. But I can't do that. So please put Cartoons as like, let's start a petition. Over 10 years late, get Cartoons and Cereal on Spotify ASAP. Okay, guys, let's band together. Let's get it put on Spotify. I know I don't have the power to start that shit, but seriously, that of all songs to not have on Spotify, that one is an absolute crime to not have on there. Like, it should be illegal to not have Cartoons and Cereal on Spotify. They should write a new law that says, and I quote, if Cartoons and Serial is not on Spotify, we will... Wait. If Cartoons and Serial is not on Spotify, it is against the law. There should be a new law that says that. Not even kidding. Somebody should pass a law like that. I'm kidding, okay? Trying to be humorous after that dumb political talk earlier. Want the video to be more enjoyable. But Kendrick, I think I've already made it clear. He's my favorite artist of all time. I don't even think I need to talk about that. He's my favorite artist of all time. And he wasn't even my favorite artist of all time at the beginning either, because I was a bigger fan of T-Pain, of J. Cole, of Eminem. But over time, I've kind of gotten where I like Eminem and J. Cole a lot less. I still love T-Pain though. T-Pain's one of my favorite artists, and I started to appreciate Kendrick a lot more. So Kendrick like surpassed T-Pain, just barely, but he did. And
So you're gonna have to
he like cleared J. Cole and Eminem. And the part of the reason why I don't enjoy J. Cole and Eminem as much as I used to, I still really do enjoy them. They're still two of my favorite artists, but they're not like top 5. Actually, no, they're J. Cole's top 5. But they're not top 3 like they used to be. Because my top 3, if you ask like 13-year-old me who my top 3 rappers, singers, whatever are, it would have been T-Pain, Eminem, J. Cole in that order. Then it would probably be Lil Wayne at 4th and 5th. And I hate that I used to be like this. At 5th would have been Future. And no offense towards Future, but like nowadays I can't see the appeal with his music. When I was younger, I loved Future though. I loved Future. I still liked 4 of the rappers more than him, but I loved Future.
I'm like a chameleon.
Notice how Drake has never been in my top 5.
Waiting to strike.
Good reason. There was a time where I really enjoyed Drake's music.
all you need is
It was before that whole nothing was the same era. I don't know. But he's fallen like so much. So it kind of makes me glad that I didn't stay a fan of his, that he kind of fell off in my eyes. Because quite honestly, I just I could never see myself being a Drake fan after everything. It's not even that he was beefing with Kendrick either, even though, like I said, Kendrick's my favorite artist of all time. It's not even that he was beefing with Kendrick. It was that
That I just want
the stuff that came out.
I think all my defenses.
And I know some of it could just be allegations, but I honestly don't think Kendrick would lie about that sort of stuff, if I'm being quite honest. Not saying he's incapable of lying, he definitely could, but more so saying I don't think he'd lie in a beef. And Drake's tried to say that he was giving false information. I also just can't see Kendrick being dumb enough to fall for that.
We saw you spying
But that part is probably just my bias, if I'm being real. That part most likely is just my bias, whereas the other part is kind of true. I just don't think Kendrick would lie in a beef.
Don't attack her.
I think I would still feel that way even if I wasn't on Kendrick's side of that whole thing. I just really could not see him lying in a beef. I feel like he takes rap a little more seriously than that. I say that, but he does all this like goofy stuff on tracks that I actually love. That's part of what made me like more of a fan of him. We started doing like goofy shit, like that whole smoking on your top 5 tonight and smoking on your what's her name tonight and to I'm the Omega PGA Renegade SA. Don't you just be a list before that is bitch? I thought you know better. I've been ducking the pit like that kind of stuff.
Put down the stick.
I won't lie, I do like some of his older music more than his current music. Like Good Kid, Mad City is my favorite album of his. My favorite song of his is actually become Euphoria. Slowly but surely it has.
Better idea.
but before it was a song by Kendrick Lamar and Dr. Dre called The Recipe.
Whoa now.
It's like
Calm down.
Stop chatting. Put your
and
guitar
when
here,
I
notice.
wake up, I don't know. I don't remember the rest of this, but it's like you might catch me in Atlanta, looking like a boss. New Orleans and then Miami, party in New York. And I'm also like a big fan of the song he has with Busta Rhymes, "Look Over Your Shoulder," with the Michael Jackson sample. That
like
shit
puns
goes
too?
hard.
What?
Um,
No. Whatever.
But
See how you handle it.
unlike a lot of other people, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I think
Caught you off guard.
Damn is only a good album, and Mr. Morale is a
Yeah, that
masterpiece.
didn't work. Plus, she's totally lying
Mr.
about
Morale
it.
is the only Kendrick album besides Good Kid, Mad City that I would call a masterpiece. It is a solid 9 out of 10 in my eyes. Solid, might even be 9.5. There is literally nothing wrong with that album to me. Like, the only, I don't even think there's a single track I skip on there.
Stay down.
Most albums, there's like 1 or 2 tracks I skip on repeat listens, just because I didn't care for them that much, or I just don't like them, like, etc. etc. But Mr. Morale is one of those few albums where, like, I feel like if you skip a track, you lose part of the experience. You need to like listen to it start from finish to
This was
really
known, Cinnamon.
appreciate it.
How about this?
And that's part of what I love about it, because I feel like that's the best kind of album. And I wish I could do like an album like that. I'm working on an album right now. It's like half finished. I still gotta record the other half of the song and purchase a few beats, but like it's half finished at the moment. I have 9 songs recorded out of the planned 15. And I have 6 beats bought out of the planned 15. Actually, is it? No, I have 9 beats bought out of the planned 15. And I have, I think it's 11 tracks recorded. I don't remember. It's something like that. Something along those lines. I have to buy the beats in like groups of 3 because that's the way I can get them cheaper, because the producer I found that I'm getting these beats from is the only one I found that's actually got a good deal for buying multiple beats with like full access to them, where like you won't, like you can get unlimited streams with them, etc., like stuff like that.
This is getting heavy.
Because that stuff matters to me. I don't want like it to come back to haunt me someday in the future where like I get sued or something because my check exceeded a certain amount of streams. So that means a lot to me. I want to have full, unlimited use with the beat, so that doesn't happen. That's really important to me because I don't want to have legal trouble based off my music. I don't. Really don't. I'm really careful about that. Before I was making my own beats, but I don't know for sure if those samples are cleared. There's samples used on Spotify,
He doesn't care about you.
and I'm not sure if they're cleared, and I'm kind of scared to take a chance with it.
I know you're not like
Because
the
of
others,
that.
Corsica. You can feel something's wrong.
I don't know, I may test the waters someday, upload 1 track using a beat I made.
Escalating.
I may not, I don't know yet.
We may have a chance.
Or are you just too
I did, however, remix the beat for We On for a remix I want to make of it someday, but I gotta. That's probably gonna be the last track I gotta work on the album, because not only do I have, because even though I don't have to buy a beat for it, I do have to pay for features, and that's part of what's slowing me down with the album right now, is that I gotta buy a few more beats, and I'm at the point now where I need some features on the album, and it's like,
What does oblivious mean?
that's really what's stopping me at the moment. Because on top of that, I just don't have any money to spare. I'm in a situation right now where we have to use every bit of money we have for, like, necessities. So, really, I'm not in a place where I can afford to buy beats at the moment. I could earlier this year, but I'm at the point now where, like, it's not really a thing. I only have like $5 to $10 to spare each month now. Until things get better, I'm not going to be able to continue work on the album, is basically what I'm saying. basically, oh, we're already on the... Forgive me for this. I'm basically laying down here because my back was killing me.
Don't give
I
up.
don't know why I got so much back pain today. I haven't had back pain in years, man. Ever since I stopped sleeping directly on mattress springs. What I mean by that is I can't sleep on a mattress unless it's a blow-up mattress or a pillow top. Because it destroys my back if it's not one of those things. Like, my back hates bed springs. It really does. Even a good quality mattress. If it's not a pillow top or an air mattress, my back hates it. So, yeah. That's why I had to lay down. But basically what I'm getting at is I couldn't really see what was going on. And I kind of just talked over the whole boss talking about music.
Escape plan.
I'm gonna shut up because cutscene.
Cinnamon, give me the building schematics.
Right here.
Chai, a private elevator.
Her personal lift. I'll reroute it to the hideout.
See? Everything works out in the end.
You were right about Spectra, but I'll handle it my own way.
We don't have to fight. You can help us.
Oh, Corsica. You're just not good at your job.
Hale?
Bypassing my security to access secret Spectra files. Big no-no.
Why would you hide the truth from me?
I need people trusting my vision. You failed that test.
What?
I won't let you build an army of mindless Vandalay soldiers.
But what are you talking about? That's not my plan.
Just drop it, Kale. We're coming after you.
Actually, it's funny because, see, I'm coming after you. Literally.
Oh, you'd never understand the potential of Spectra.
What's the endgame?
I'm securing our future. Please, even you can figure that out.
By controlling the consumers.
It's not control, I'm freeing them.
That's not how I see it.
I don't need to explain myself to a defect. All you do is hit things with a guitar.
But I'm really good at it.
Ugh, I'm over this. You're not getting in my way any longer, kid.
Forget the password, Chai. Get out of there.
What? No! Not after all this!
Oh, and for you, Corsica, you're fired.
Corsica, watch out!
Chai!
Fired? Oh, should have used the flamethrower. Better well, there's always next time.
Milady? Lady Corsica? Can you hear me?
Your wound was really bad. We didn't have a choice.
Luckily, Miss Peppermint and Sir Macaron are familiar with robotic implants. And with my steady hand...
You saved my life.
Well, keeping you alive was essential to our plan.
Sorry. That's Chai speak for we need your help.
That's some boss you've got there.
Former boss. I joined his company because I believed it was the only one doing things right. And I read those files on Spectra. I've been such an idiot!
Hate to say I told you so.
Chai!
A team is stronger with a common goal.
And like we said, another hand would help.
Come on. Why don't we tell you everything we know?
Ooh, it's getting dark in here.
All of that, right under my nose.
Kale manipulates. It's what he does. And now he plans to do that with Spectra.
Spectra is almost a manifestation of his personality.
Anyway, I'm gonna be ending up the video as soon as this little scene's over, so I'm gonna go ahead and say bye.
You're in?
Oh, I'm in. And I think I know what to do next. Try. You got a second before we head out?